allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
The meeting will please come to order. We do have proof of posting in accordance with Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code as amended, known as the Texas Open Meetings Act. Any members of the public who wish to speak shall each have 3 minutes to address the court regarding any matters. Mr. Morgan?
Yes, ma'am. We have a big gas treating plant being put in Langley, 2 miles from my house. And it's north of my house. So when it was operating, they had this gas coming right straight to my house. We didn't want to stay in my house. Anyway, we wound up getting the plant shut down by the regulators. That was 5 years ago. And this is the same one that appeared in the newspaper 2 weeks ago. And so they're trying to put it back in service with the same amount of gases and noise and all that stuff that they put out. And so I'm trying to fight that now with the regulators to make sure that they do not get it activated again. Because I'm 2 miles south of that plant, and within 10 minutes, that gas and stuff is in my house, and I can't hardly stand it. And there's other people, and more people that moved in, so even more people will be affected if that plant gets the permit. So I've sent comments on that permit to the regulators to help them make sure we don't get it activated again. And if we do, it's going to be extra pay for more people than just me. So let you know this, that we have a potential problem there, very high potential, and start the chain again. So I'll let you know that somebody is working on that to help protect our people.
Anyone else? Let this sit in. Not right now. You can, but you can wait till we get to your section. Move to item number 1, which is to approve the minutes of the May 15th meeting and the May 20th meeting.
On this May 20th, it's got me being absent, and I made some motions in there, so I figured I was here.
I didn't count
And it's got Andy absent too. You were
I'm
here too,
sorry
weren't you?
about that.
Yeah.
I'll correct that.
Everybody on the bus, huh?
We didn't even need you. Neither one of you.
Oh, I missed enough earlier, I better be missing it more. I'll make a motion we approve minutes of May 15th and May 20th with the changes showing me Andy present
Second.
on the 20th.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Motion carried. Item number 2 is budget transfers and amendments. Have a motion on the budget transfers and amendments.
Make a motion. Budget transfer amendment.
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 3 is to approve and pay the bills.
And I saw when I looked at the bills on the, I think it was on yours,
On the SB 22 or regular?
on the regular. But we're on the, under item reasons, we got coal mix, but it's for Mount River. Yeah.
What page? Which one is it?
Oh, that is on the,
Yeah, it's on the
I'm
art.
sorry.
It's at the back, isn't it?
The back.
Yeah, we went and got, they went and got some stuff for, Patty Bonham.
So, Mount River, you can get,
That, whatever you call that.
Yeah.
That-
So you talking about Waco?
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh,
PPR.
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, they got some stuff for potholes.
It's good stuff, too.
It is.
You need to get your checkbook out.
Yeah. Well, we put that shovel at the time.
Yeah, sure. I'll sure.
Yeah, it's expensive.
we will be able to recoup some of that from the state or the federal people.
Yeah, I've been, my major deal is I'm saving all my tickets.
Mhm.
But it's hard, a little deal, but I got 4 major deals, and I'm just making it
I
buy
forget
one
that.
in case,
I
you
forget
know.
to take the darn pictures, till I'm back in town.
That's the hardest thing.
Take
Kind of hard to take, kind of hard to take pictures when you got people backed up front to get across the creek, you know?
I hadn't done pictures.
Well, the next time you go by, you can take a picture.
But that bunch I met, we took all those pictures.
Yes,
If I
they did,
remember to take
they did from
I'll be back
before
now.
it was finished.
The,
I still remember the day we took all those pictures before,
Brooks Management, whatever.
for months and charted all that, and we got absolutely nothing.
Whatever it is, yeah.
Yeah, they took pictures everywhere.
Yeah, so we have those, you know,
They
before,
said-
and that's the good part too.
They're in the TDM,
TDM.
the TDM app,
Yeah.
and you could go back and look at the pictures, and it gives your coordinates of where you're standing with
Yeah.
the pictures and everything.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because they took, I went with them and they took pictures.
Right.
Before pictures, and then we can still get the after
Yeah.
pictures, yeah.
And they had one, they did after, because we already fixed it.
Mhm. We will see, worked on that before.
You pay different amounts for autopsy,
Sir?
different amounts for autopsies,
Yes,
I guess. Okay.
well, it depends on where you send it, and it depends on what you request, is that correct?
I believe so. I'd have to look at the bill that you're looking at, but generally speaking,
That's what I'm looking at.
Autopsy is not an autopsy.
yeah, I guess there's certain things that they can do that can add price or
Okay.
decrease price is my understanding. But again, and also, I don't know, because I'm not on that side of things, right? JPs are ordering those and kind of dealing with that going back and forth. So I don't know if you're looking at those, if they're going if they're truly going different places. I don't know if that happens.
Sometimes they do.
Yes, so Andy, there may be kind of that play in it as well, depending on where you send it.
Mhm. We might get copies of the ones that have already been done, if you wanted to look at those and see if you had any thoughts or suggestions.
Definitely.
Not much we can do about it.
Definitely could. Like I know we had the last one I think that we looked at it was a death in Wortham, and that person was transported to Limestone County. So a Limestone County JP was involved, sent that body to their
What place?
place, which was different than ours, right? But it was our death, so the bill kind of came back to us, if I remember correctly. So again, I don't know what you're looking at there, but there's some variables that can become involved that will change the cost.
Thank you. We have a motion on the bills.
I'll make a motion.
So,
We have a motion and a second to pay the bills. All in favor, aye. Any opposed? None. Motion carried. Item number 4 is to approve the payroll.
Y'all will have 2 this
We got
time.
2.
It's gone right away.
It's gone. We need a
yeah,
motion.
the two.
I make a motion, pay payroll.
Second.
All in favor, aye. Any opposed? None. Motion carried. Item number 4 is reports. I have one from JP2 on April. And I have extension, service, and post. Are there any other reports? Are there any other reports? If not, do we have a motion to approve the reports?
I'll make that
Or
motion.
accept the reports, actually.
I'll make a motion to accept the report.
Where do you want me to send this
I hand that back to her.
to? Oh, okay.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, aye. Any opposed? None. Motion carries. Item 6, burn ban.
No action.
No action.
Let's put it on.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's put it on and see what happens. Maybe we'll quit raining.
Item number 7, special road use agreements. Do we have any of those?
We got yours took care of last time, didn't we?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
But now we're on the big one.
okay, so where are the numbers, where are the road numbers?
Okay, they're on the,
We need a list of the road numbers.
Yeah.
We need a list of all the road numbers that y'all are gonna cross and all the ones that y'all are gonna use. Are you over that project or are you over it? So
Both of us will.
both of y'all over it? Because I've noticed several places in my precinct that y'all have access signs up and I have nothing showing that you have access to those roads. So somebody somewhere needs to get those road numbers. We need a bond, $100,000 bond on all the ones in my precinct.
Okay.
And we need those done. We need a road use agreement and a $100,000 bond on everyone in precinct 4.
I turned in all the roads, yes, sir.
yeah, they're on a flash drive.
I don't need to see a map of them. I need to see a list of them.
Well,
Yeah, they're on the,
Each one has to have a road use agreement and a bond attached to it. Okay? Man, I'm not hard to get along with until y'all tear my roads up. And I'm telling you, I've had it happen multiple times, and I'm not gonna be easy to deal with. I'm gonna tell you right up front. If you tear my road up, you're gonna fix it, and you're not gonna fix it after y'all get through. You're gonna fix it while you're doing the work, okay? Yes, sir. Okay.
Wow.
Huh? I mean, I'm tired, y'all. Hey, look, I go out and fix a brand new road. Next thing I go up there and got holes for everywhere, and they're not calling the companies doing the work, they're calling me. I'm just saying what I think. I've been here a long time, and I'm tired of my roads getting too low.
Thank you.
Takes me a long time to fix it.
Anything else?
Ma'am?
Anything else?
No.
Okay.
You have
Will
anything,
you
ma'am?
take, I do.
You look good.
So will you take care of that for us?
yes, ma'am, it's already been taken care of. They have the list on the flash drive.
It's on a flash drive, Karen has it, and she's gonna download it for us.
Okay.
Karen Elizabeth.
Karen Elizabeth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what a flash drive is?
No.
I don't
It's next to the
He
flag.
said it's down here.
Below the cloud.
Hey,
below the
he
cloud.
handed it to me, and I handed it to Karen.
Maybe that's
Well,
in
if
the
she
cloud or
prints-
above the
It's
cloud or
in the
below the
cloud.
cloud.
If she prints that and brings it back, we will come back to it this morning.
You want me to go talk to her real quick?
If you will, thank you. We surely will.
I don't wanna know what it is.
Let's go to item number 8, which is to approve bonds and education certificates. I have cyber security for Stephanie Oakar, Sherry Austin, Alicia Davis, Jamie Myers. Do we have a motion to accept these?
Make that motion.
Second.
All in favor, aye. Item number 9 is to reschedule the Wednesday, June 19th regular Commissioners Court meeting due to a county holiday. And can we move that to Thursday, the day after, June 20th? Do we have a motion to do that?
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
All in favor, aye.
Uh,
Motion carried. Item number 10 is consider sale of a precinct 1 road bridge 1996 Ford pickup with welding bed by selling it by sealed bids.
I'll make that motion.
second.
All in favor, aye.
Uh,
Any opposed? No. Motion carried. Item number 11, discuss using discretionary exemption in accordance with the local government code, section 262.024, 2, to build a new bridge on County Road 841 at Cat Creek Precinct 2.
Yeah, I've got a bridge failed and the road's been closed for a month now, probably going on a month. It's putting a few people, a few people out, but we're managing it and but anyway, I gotta get it done. And I've lined up a map as quick as we can get there, so.
I'll make that motion.
And that is number 2, or could have even been number 1 under discretionary exemptions. If you qualify under one of these exemptions, then you don't have to,
Go out for bid.
go out for bids. Yeah, thank you.
We're kind kinda limited on who can do the work anyway.
Exactly, but,
But I had to get on this list as quick as
Sure,
possible,
sure.
like I said, I mean, cause he's got people.
You got
I'm
people.
not ready to, all in favor, aye?
Uh,
Any opposed? None, motion carried. Item number 12 is discuss and approve the annual bid list. That would be carried.
Do we want to do coats? We're wearing them out this year.
yeah.
Make it take longer to get them though. Or it's just gonna slow you down in 3 weeks, time you have court, put it in the paper, have court again.
Because we're really nearly there
Yeah.
right now.
48,000 now.
I just started before we did.
Well, and we may have to do that for this year, but the bid list is for next year.
It is.
Yeah, so I know kind of what we've done before is just kind
I've
of
got 2
waiting.
more to order, it's
But
gonna
if
be
you don't,
$35,000.
then we're gonna
I
have
ordered, mine was 4,200 yesterday.
You might as-
I got a PO for 4,200 yesterday.
Well, we're over it then.
Yeah. So, and I gotta have,
unusual situation here.
yeah. And that ain't all, that's
Discretionary
still got
exemption.
more, but,
Another discretionary exemption.
yeah.
It could be. It sure could be, because we are in a. Let me just go back and read that.
Let's see what that says.
An item that must be purchased in case of a public calamity if it is necessary to make the purchase promptly, to relieve the necessity of the citizens, or to preserve the property of the county. I guess that is a public calamity. So I don't think that's the questioning.
That's a good one, that's one word for it.
I think it's gonna be hard to get quotes on culverts. I mean, you're gonna have to get them on galvanized, you're gonna have to get them
What
on
about the
steel, you're gonna have
sizes?
to get them on HDPE.
Well, we used to get them though.
That's all those steel culverts sell based on the price of metal.
Yeah,
I mean, it's per pound. And, that fluctuates all through the year.
and then the different sizes, Lord, there's just so many.
Do they?
Well, even just the wall thickness, you know,
Yeah.
because I mean,
Well, we used
most
to
of
get
it's-
them though from Wilson. You know, he gave us all the sizes, wall thickness, everything. I'm just, something to look at. But we don't have to, whatever.
Why don't we just go out for bids on them and then we can decide if we're gonna approve them or not when the time comes, when we look at them?
Okay.
Is that too much work?
That's a lot.
Okay, I'm not saying, I don't
Well,
want to
not
those
too
things,
young
I'm
for
letting
that
all
long,
this
see,
time.
'cause we weren't buying anything from steel then. We weren't buying plastic.
Do they put on the bottom of those bids, subject to some change in policy? I mean, change in the price of the materials, or, you know, sometimes they have an out on that even.
Yeah, when metal goes up.
Yeah.
Well, kind of like on the fuel too, they have it out on their head, you know.
yeah, but they're basing theirs off of a index.
I think this kind of links, from what I remember with Wilson, it seems like it kind of links them into price. But I might be wrong.
We don't
I'll have
have
to go
to.
back and look at an
Just
older
don't do
one.
that. Get down.
We wouldn't be spending that much money if it wasn't a have-to situation, it's not a normal year.
Right.
Yeah, that's, it would still fix the problems.
And
So
So is it a
the
yes or no?
decision today, I mean, since that's on the agenda, is which ones do we want to go out for bid for 25?
Road base, fuel, solid waste, hauling, pre-cutting and removing. Once you have the exercise.
What about, you
Hauling
said
is not on
hauling?
there.
Hauling is not.
We hadn't done hauling them.
I have.
Hauling's on there. These are the ones that I've got marked, are the ones that
This is the
we
most
need
money.
to go, for sure, probably, we need to go out for, we're hitting the totals, and we went out for bids last year, or for this year.
And the first three, we're always over
Yeah.
on those.
Yes.
So it's just the discussion is for the ones under this.
Underneath, even the tree cutting, I mean, you know,
That needs to be done again.
okay, well, I mean, that's fine,
You
we
just
can
did
do
it
that.
about 2
Those-
weeks ago.
But for 2025, I think the same four.
Yeah, those four.
Well, hauling in the situation we have right now is who you can get.
Yeah.
So the oil field's trying them, and we're trying them.
Yeah, I had to make four phone calls to get somebody the other day.
Well, hauling, we're okay right now.
Yeah. Boy, and I hope it stays.
Well, if we're gonna redo tree removal, why would we not do culverts? I mean, we spent less on tree removal than we did on culverts. So how can you say to do it on one and not the other?
Well, tree removal is gonna be a constant thing,
I
but
understand.
culverts are not, I hope.
They will be. I mean, you have to count culvert. I have to tell them, I order them every year, but not as many as I have this year.
Same here.
They need to start ordering them culverts out of surplus. It's a long-term
Yeah,
expense.
I understand.
That'll last another 40 years.
Yeah.
Still won't come out of your budget, we'll just have to put a new line item in, so however you want to call it.
Good. Good discussion.
Okay, so we need a motion to put as to which ones we want to go out for bid.
You want to add culverts somewhere?
I mean, I think we should till the end of the year.
Well, this is just for the next one.
2025.
Yeah, for next year. October.
I don't think we have to until we can get up to that point, do we? Do that plus 50,000.
Right, we don't have to.
Historically, what have we been? I mean, has it been
No, we didn't.
30,
We did some years and some years we didn't.
So we can look at it for
As we
next
go.
year as we
Right.
go.
Hopefully, after this year ends in August, hopefully we won't
We can be,
have as much.
we can be legal under the discretionary deal with it
For a little while.
for a little while. Is that, or am I reaching by? mean,
No, I think
we're-
so,
That's the
because
reason.
it's-
For,
It is that calamity that's the reason we have.
If you went back and looked at
Situation.
the 6 to 10 foot diameter culverts, that money was, you took them out of that money and just your regular culvert purchases, then the majority of that's gonna be under the, with all of that position. I spent that much in 2001 on culverts. What we're up to right now. But I mean, all the roads washed out on the same night, you know, and they ain't washed out since, they need these over to.
Obviously, we don't know what the future will hold. We may have another, yeah.
Sun don't shine.
We just have to look at what we've got at this moment. May have to change a little later on.
So we're going base, fuel, solid waste, and trees. Right now,
Right now,
right now.
the red X is, yeah.
Red X
425.
for 25.
Yeah. We need a motion for that. I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor, aye. And the motion is to go out for bids on the road and base material, bulk fluid, solid waste, and tree cutting and removal. Item number 13, order authorizing 4th of July fireworks sales. And this is to allow the vendors to sell fireworks in Freestone County. We have a motion, do we have a second?
Make a motion. To approve.
Second.
All in favor, aye. Motion carried. Item number 14, security. We do have, along with the cybersecurity, we do have a report from the IT department discussing kind of what's been worked on and where we are on some things that would maybe go along with the cybersecurity thing that we're talking about now also.
Show this to some commissioners, to just give you a little idea of the map, just to show you kind of what the threat is in the cybersecurity world, what's going on. I attended the technology conference last week. I came out of there with the feeling of if not if something happens, it's when something happens. With the advancement of AI technologies, they're able to write programs for hacks just on the fly, and it just consistently gets more entrenched. So what I took away from it was there's two things we can do. Obviously, we're doing certain things, firewalls, endpoint protection, things of that nature we have in place. But training of our employees throughout the county is critical, as well as we need to put a incident response team together, not just me, but probably the DA's office. Brian would probably be included, commissioners, judge, to some extent, you know, because if we had an incident, we had some type of attack, we went down, there's a lot of considerations to be taken. There were some scenarios that were given where there was a financial attack, the word got out that you know, basically locked down the computer, had been hacked, got to the newspaper people, they're calling the judge, asking what's going on, what are we doing? Commissioners, everybody just said, hey, let's just get this thing back up and running. Tells the IT guy, just wipe the stuff, let's get back up, okay? By going through that course, it ended up creating a liability on the county, because when you go start just cleaning and not doing a procedural process, you open yourself up for insurance claims that you might get to pay for the incident, because you basically have wiped away the evidence. Okay, so there's just a lot of considerations to take place. I had submitted last week, or last Commissioner's Court, an initial document just to kind of get feedback from you guys on if this is the way we want to go. Policies and procedures, do we want to implement IT policies and procedures, or do we want to put in standard operating procedures? It's kind of, you know, one, it's going to give more, you know, backbone if it's a policy, but I know policies are a little bit more difficult to get through. All these policies, if we're going to do that, should probably go, I would think, through Brian, through the VA, to review it from a legal aspect, to make sure that from a legal perspective that we're good. I had included also in my report the cyber attack checklist, which it's not a policy, it's not a procedure, it's more of a memo and design. I'm looking for guidance from you guys how we want to start the training process with employees. There's help available to us through like Department of Justice and some of these bigger things that they'll come in-house, they'll do an evaluation of our systems and can possibly provide training. I think we're in pretty good shape considering where we're at, because we don't operate on a whole lot of servers internally. We operate mostly in a cloud environment, but that creates another risk that I'm evaluating as far as security around how our connection points are flying. So, you know, I'm not really asking for anything to be voted on. I'm looking more for guidance at this point of how we want to proceed, because I'd like to start, we need to start putting some controls in place, whether it's standard operating procedures or policies and procedures. I don't know if y'all have any thoughts. I don't know if y'all got a chance to review what this was last week.
I'd like to,
But this is going to end up being a binder. It's going to end up being,
yeah,
this
read
is
this
just
and
one.
think about it a little bit. Maybe
Okay.
we can make some notes, each of us, about our thoughts, and anyone else that kind of would like to
But it is a real threat. I think, you know, I don't think we're under immediate threat, but the thing is you just don't know. It happens like that. And all of a sudden, if we don't have a plan in place how we're gonna respond to it, we're gonna make a mistake along the way.
So it'd be better to say, what are we gonna do before it ever happens than
Right,
right after it happens.
sure. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. The next few things are probably gonna take a little bit of time, so if it is all right, I would like to go to number 18, so that we could discuss this for Ms. Hardy and let her be on her way and not have to sit through a lot of other things that I'm not supposed to her. Did you want to make a statement first?
Yes, thank you, Judge, and to the commissioners. I'm here today to talk about some property that I'm a majority owner in, of which I am being currently denied access to, and thereby precluding me from reaping the benefits of being a property owner. So I'm here to petition the courts to open up the County Road 1131. And I understand that the road was closed back in 2011, but that closure should not preclude me for forever being able to recognize some of the benefits of my property ownership. I recently tried to access my property, so there's no public access to it. I walked across one of the neighbors' yards to get to my property, and the police were called. So I can't even walk onto my property. And the only access, I solicited my neighbors to see if they would sell me an easement, and they have all said no. And that my only access would be to open up County Road 1131. I have someone who is interested in leasing my property, and but I can't lease it to them because they would have no access. The last 25 years, I have paid the maximum amount in property taxes because I can't get ad exemption because I can't get to my property to actually farm the property. So I am asking the county to open up County Road 1131 so that I can have some access to my property so that I, as a property owner, can still recognize some of the benefits of being a property owner.
Okay, just as a little background, you had mentioned the map. On February the 7th of 2011, there was an order adopting the county road map pursuant to Chapter 258 of the Texas Transportation Code. And in that order, it said any road previously maintained by Freestone County but not included upon the final county road map adopted by the order shall be considered as discontinued from any county maintenance schedule and shall no longer be maintained by Freestone County. And that's what you're talking about, is it not being maintained?
And that's correct. I don't know, I live here and just recently moved from Iowa to Austin, so I was not familiar with the announcement or what the plans for the county were.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Through this process, the attorneys did send notices about this process, and they were mailed in the with the tax notices, and that's the way that everybody had gotten. That we got the word out to everybody of what was going on at that time. And then this was also in part of that this was done because the county might not otherwise be able to prove that such an interest had been established due to a lack of witnesses with first-hand knowledge of the road's history, and it clarifies a public interest. And this procedure is established to bring finality to disputes about public use of roads in Texas's many counties. And this map serves as conclusive legal evidence of the county's claim to a road and the county's right to spend money on the road. So that's where the issue comes up, is if it's not.
Plus, I think it was a 2-year grace period in there too, wasn't it?
There was,
If
in which you
didn't
could.
agree with the map, you had 2 years to say yes or no?
Yes, and request that it be looked at during that 2 years.
Well, I don't deny that there was public notice taken, but am I to forever be locked out of my property? Because I can't get an easement from my neighbors, and so I just continue to pay taxes with no ability to be able to benefit from property ownership. And that's the issue that I have.
Yeah. We can't give you legal advice about that. You need to talk to an attorney about that if you want to pursue it from that side. But what we're saying is that that map that was adopted, we have to go by that map, and now you're requesting that the court open a road that's not on the map. So that's the question. Did I explain that correctly, Brian?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I would think that's putting what I'm understanding the request is for the court to consider opening up
A road, yes.
a road, is what I understand. Is that right, Ms. Hardy, to open?
Right, I'm asking the county to reopen the road so that I can have access to my property, so that I can enjoy the benefits of property ownership.
And what year was the road closed?
Well, they built the interstate in the 70s, it's been closed for 50 years.
No, the road has not been closed for 50 years.
Well, it stops at the Johnson Cemetery, and that's where the
Map.
service road, that the piece of the service road that the state built on the interstate, so you could access to the Johnson Cemetery, and from there it stops. I think of Mr. Coleman owns land past that road. I looked at the parcel map right, and then Gerald Meggs, and also Doris Patrick. So, Max Hunter owns all that land. When Max died, Gerald Meggs got it. He inherited it. So, they're talking 50 years.
And again, that's what all the commentary is about, establishing the map, because there would come a time when we would not be able to, we'd always have people coming in and saying, this was a road and it should be a road now, and then you'd have to try to find people that could testify. And so when the map was established, that's the starting point as to where we are.
And Brian, on most 90-something% of the road, 98% are all prescriptive easements. Through that definition, they cease to be maintained, they revert back to the landowner. So that opens a can of worms in itself. The county doesn't really, that's no longer that's the landowner's property. That's the way it's always been explained to me.
That's my understanding. I think looking, I haven't walked out there to this property of where that line ends, right? But I'm assuming this landowner that's right here before we get to Ms. Hardy's property is treating that whole area like his property, right? I mean, it's not, the road's not fenced still or anything of that nature. That would just be one piece of property. So that would be my understanding is
that's the way I want to make sure that's the way I've always been explaining it.
So now, it would be a legal issue on her part as to whether she wanted to address that. Is that correct?
yes.
Not a county question.
Well, I can't force an easement from my neighbors. I can't force an easement from my neighbors.
I understand that. I've had some landlocked country that I own.
So my only option is for the county to consider my request. Otherwise, I'll just continue to pay taxes until whenever. But I would just I'm soliciting you to understand my predicament and grant the ability to be able to use that county road to get to my property. Because I do want to be able to do something with the property other than just let it sit there, and again, I pay maximum taxes because I can't get an ag exemption. But I cannot force my neighbors to give me an easement to my property. My only option is the county.
Well, again, when this was adopted, it's no longer considered to be a road And so we can't maintain something that is not on the map, that is not addressed within that 2-year period.
So are you telling me there's no precedent in any county in Texas where a county road can be reopened?
No, ma'am, I'm not telling you that, because I haven't researched that, I haven't known it.
How far is it from where the road stops now, where that is? I'm not familiar with it. How far is it from?
I have no idea. You know, mile, three-quarter.
Pretty far, I mean, depends on
You
your
know,
definition of far and close, but
I
pretty,
walked through the woods to check it out.
pretty far.
I didn't know where the road stopped at the cemetery. Just like the Bonner Cemetery out there, the road stopped at the Bonner Cemetery. It used to go all the way up to the road coming out of Streetman. The black dot comes out of Streetman and ends. If you're going a little further toward 488, the road there at Cousin Willie's old house, it used to come out to the Lodge Hall at Winkle. If you go a little further toward 488, 221 used to come out on the Watson track, right before you get to 416. All those are, they've been closed for 50, 60 years. Then they built 488 in the late 50s, and so we got a highway.
How long has it been since you had access to your property, do you know?
It's been over 25 years. And so I'm just seeking compassion from the county. You know, I know this might not be something that you have done, you personally have done in the past, but I do want to utilize my property, and I can't even walk to my property.
The way that reads is that we don't have the right to that road once that map was adopted in 2001.
We don't have the right to spend money on a road that has not been approved as part of that map.
And the other thing is, I mean, it's a twofold. I think our hands are tied here, but it is a huge can of worms. So just like all the roads that he just described, if one of them ever got done, then we're talking about, I'm telling how many miles of road.
And
That- And I understand the land, I mean, I almost.
I don't know if we can legally even do it. You didn't answer that question.
No, I don't
I
think.
think,
I was already-
Yeah, and I was gonna wait for the decision. I have not researched opening, I mean, it'd be essentially opening a new, it'd be,
We're creating a new road.
and you're taking, and you're gonna
Way.
be, the way it's set up right now, you'd be,
Definition of
We
territory.
got people wanting to turn private roads into county roads all the time. I mean, I get 2 or 3 calls a week. And like I say, I just tell them, and developers call them, well, we're gonna build this, and we wanna build this road to spec. I said, you can spend $1 million every 10th of a mile if you want to. I'm not taking another county road.
I don't know, I got 200 miles.
I mean, it's not doesn't economically make sense for the taxpayers of this county.
well, and looking at it from the legal side, which she would need to get her own legal opinion. But from the county side, since that is not considered a road any longer, that property, whoever owned it to the middle of the road has already been released back to the original owners on that land, so.
yeah, you'd be creating a road through somebody's property.
Right.
I mean, that's the way I've always understood it.
So unless there is a motion by someone to do something different, I think that our opinion is that we don't have the authority to do that.
So, Mr. Bonner, you mentioned that the road used to go to the interstate. There used to be a road off of the interstate that,
I don't know that. When I got to be commissioner, the road stopped at Johnson Cemetery. I'm sure it went across the interstate and then turned into 1090 on the other side. But That's up there about where it is, 1090.
Ten ninety on, up there on your side turns off the service road.
It turns off of the service road.
So that property that you're talking about is on the other side of the interstate?
Fronts the interstate.
What's the old church slash school that's got the historic market?
That's Grindstone.
Grindstone, and then you turn, you go back north,
Go
and
back
from
north.
Grindstone, it goes to the dead end of that cemetery.
Yep.
But that was, I had that road before we done the
Yes.
reissue. We just, we took the brush back.
I think we stated our position at this time, and if you wanted to pursue something further, you would need to talk to an attorney about what your options are. Thank you. Now, let's go back to number 15. Do we need a break?
Yes, I do. I
Let's
think
have a
that's
5-minute break.